Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to address you and to be in your company. I'm sure all of you are from distinguished companies with very successful careers. The unfortunate thing is that we are looking at problems and not looking at their basic root cause, with the result that whatever we do to mend the situation does not really go till the grassroots, and the problem remains where it was. If I were to tell you that the Kurangi grid, the electricity producing generators at the Kurangi grid were shut off, would we have light? Would we have light if the whole system is stopped at Kurangi and they turn off the switches there? Will we be able to play with the buttons, tuck and get light here? No. Similarly, there is a reason why man has been created, and the Creator has given a reason for its creation. If we do not address that, then unfortunately it will be all superficial effort and there will be no lasting results. So we have to understand this very thoroughly, that Pakistan cannot be a more progressive, more successful country if the basics are not addressed. And the basic is that man has a responsibility to its Creator. Just like a child born to a mother has responsibility towards the family, similarly, Allah, who has created everything that we see and that we use, Allah has created man to serve in one purpose only, and that is to obey Him. There's no other reason. If you want to find out, has man been created to run factories or to be successful CEOs? It is not so. It's also not that man has been created to run governments or make good products. No, that's not the reason. The reason is to please Allah. And if we do that, 99%, let me give you an example. Let me say it in Urdu. How do you put it? You cannot be happy if you do not return the pleasures that you receive from your Malik. Here the Malik could be you, and the subject could be your driver, or your servant, or your masi, or your cook. If you want them to perform, they must not only respect you, but obey you. Now, you tell tomorrow morning to your cook, make fried eggs, and he sends you potato chaat. You will not be very happy with them. Similarly, when Allah has ordained that man must please Him, and man has been created to please Allah, then He will not be happy if you are doing everything in making your life a success without actually the primary goal is not being satisfied, that is to please Allah. So let's focus on pleasing Allah. In pleasing Allah, you don't need anything very far-fetched or something very difficult. It is in fact, the propaganda spread by vested interest and Maulanas and Maulvis and Peers that to obey Allah is very difficult. No, it isn't. If you make a machinery, if you make a model of machinery, and you know how it runs best, suppose you have a Toyota car, and the manufacturer says, put petrol in the tank, and you start putting water. Will it function? Won't function. Or say the engine oil, instead of the engine oil you put kerosene. So you know the machine. Allah knows how He has made man, what his desires are, what his weaknesses are, and what his successes are. And therefore, He has recommended a regime for man to accept and do, so he is not only successful himself, but the society as such is successful, and the nation as such becomes successful. So if you just put yourself in a position where you say, from today, I will accept what Allah has said against my will, against my thinking, against my desire. That is the first step towards going into a mode which pleases Allah. And Allah, whoever Allah pleases, goes to Jannah. Not only his current scenario is made more pleasurable, more successful, but his akhirah, or the days he is going to spend in the grave. If you look around, go to a graveyard, if you go to Makli graveyard, you will see 600 years old graves. So the life on top of the earth is very short, 60, 70 years. Whereas the life in the grave is a very long time, hundreds of years. You go to any graveyard in Pakistan and you see the graves, you will see that there are people who have been lying there for centuries. So my dear fellows, my dear brothers, it's a moment for us to understand that in obeying Allah 24 hours of a day, we will actually get blessed. We will actually get successful. That is the primary subject of our life. Whether you are sleeping, whether you are doing business, whether you are doing ibadat, in everything Allah teaches you how to do it. And He has sent messengers who explain by doing themselves the kind of things Allah has requested. So you are not without a learner. There has been people who have instructed and people who have demonstrated and shown that life is better and easier and more simple if you follow the guidelines of Allah. And the guidelines of Allah are very simple. Very simple. You know what is the only thing which is halal? Everything is halal. Everything. Which does not conflict with three things which Allah has mentioned in Quran. So you can eat anything in the world, drink anything in the world, except the three things that Allah has mentioned in Quran. So don't make yourself influenced by the community chat or the Maulanas in the masjid telling you a lot of fearful things. Allah is not something who is to be feared. He has to be loved. You must love Allah, because Allah loves you 2,000 times. He loves you so much that you spread your hands and Allah listens to you. And who improves your well-being? Who improves your status? It is Allah. So my friends, my colleagues, let us not focus on success by yourself, because that is not true. Success comes through Allah, whether you know it or not, whether you realize it or not. It comes because of your deeds, the way you live your life, and how people look at you. And you know, when I was young, about 10 years old, my father asked me, who are the people who love you? So I said, you and my mummy. So he said, no, it's not only those. It's the people who are your well-wishers, who pray for you, who make dua for you. So increase the people who make dua for you. So my dear friends, let us do our business in ethical ways, in ways that Allah has ordained us, and live our lives simple as Allah has ordained and has Hazur Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has demonstrated in his life. Do what is done by Hazur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We will never go wrong. I hope you are very successful in your life and you remain as happy as I can see you. Your faces are all shining. I hope you achieve what you want in your life. Thank you.